Good morning, everyone. Chris Profi, Musically Obsessed. Well, I'm joining another contest today. Now, I hope I'm not too late for this one. This contest is coming from Dylan over at Noble Records. Yes, you guys all know him. This is his 7,000 plus subscriber contest. I thought I was doing pretty good with 199 subscribers. Just kidding. But congratulations to Dylan. I know he's way past 7,000 now. He's got some great videos. I'm jealous of all the record collections that he buys. I believe that he just recently opened up a brick and mortar store, so congratulations on that. So he's got a lot of great things going on. So if you have not already checked out Dylan at Noble Records, definitely check him out. So he's got 7 questions and the deadline is February 16th. Well, today is the 16th, so I'm hoping it's one of those like has to be in by midnight of the 16th because I'm cutting this thing. This is tight. This is a tight entry here. But you know what? I'm going to do it anyway. So here we go. Question number 1. Best finds. Well, I was thinking about this, and the ones I'm going to show you, might not be worth much, but for me, they were a really cool find. So I'm not really going with a monetary, angle, just with like what I feel was my best find. One of them is, this is a bootleg, and it's Iron Maiden, Blaze No Brazil. Now, Blaze Bayley was the lead singer to replace Bruce Dickinson in Maiden. He did 2 albums with them, The X Factor and Virtual 11. Not very popular with Maiden fans, but I became a big Blaze Bayley fan actually when he left Maiden. He did a whole bunch of great solo records, still making records, but I never had anything live by Blaze. So this is great. I mean, this is Blaze singing, this must have been the X Factor tour. They do Man on the Edge from the X Factor. He does Wrathchild, Heaven Can Wait, Lord of the Flies from the X Factor, Blood on the World's Hands from the X Factor, The Evil That Men Do, 2 Minutes of Midnight, Fear the Dark, The Clairvoyant, and Iron Maiden. This was recorded in Brazil in 1996. So very cool to have this, because being a Blaze fan, I actually have a live recording, and I don't believe that there was any official Iron Maiden live recordings with Blaze singing. So this was pretty cool to have. Does Blaze do a great job on the Maiden stuff? Not really. He does better on the songs that were written for him from the X Factor, of course. But if you question Blaze's vocal ability, you got to listen to his post-Maiden albums. They are awesome. And what Blaze Bayley lacks in vocal ability, he makes up with in passion. He's just a great lead vocalist. I really like him. I've really grown to like him over the last 10 years or so. So definitely a very cool pickup. Next find that I really dig. This is a radio promo for the single Drinking and Driving by Black Flag. And, white label. And I always love this because it has the bars on the back. So it's just 2 songs, but it's cool because it was only sent to radio. So you got Drinking and Driving on side 1, and the song It's All Up to You. It has SST contact information there. It says, both of these songs are from the LP In My Head, which I have. And I just love, down here it says SST Forcing the Issue since 1978. So that's a pretty cool find. Love that. And the last one. I love Motley Crue. And I've said in past videos that my favorite Motley Crue album is the first one, Too Fast for Love. I have it on CD, I have it on cassette. I never had it on vinyl, and I think they did a reissue with extra tracks, and I'm like, you know what? I don't want the reissue with the extra tracks and all that. I just want the original release on Elektra. Well, over this past year, I found it, and red Elektra label. I was so excited for this. Now, I almost didn't buy it because there's a little, well, there's some ring wear, and it's hard to see, but there's some like staining on the side over here. It almost looks like somebody maybe spilled coffee or something on it. It's not too bad. It kind of comes into the edge a little bit. I know it's hard to see. And I kept going back and forth. Should I get it? Should I not? And you know what? I picked it up because I'm like, the album was in, the actual vinyl was in perfect condition. The cover just showed a little love wear on it. And I'm like, you know what? It has a little personality now. And the record is awesome. I'm so glad I picked this up. So definitely my favorite Crue album, and I'm glad I looked past the little bit of coffee stains or whatever that is on the cover. And other than that, it's in great condition. So very cool. Now, this next question, question number 2. The best song ever written. Oh my God. This is a hard one. The best song ever written. Well, I thought long and hard about this, and I am going with Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah. Now, here's the reason. It's not just a beautiful song. It's not just lyrically beautiful, but it's almost like a songwriting lesson. Like, here is how you write a song. And he tells you in the lyrics, he says the 4th, the 5th, the minor fall, the major lift, and the chords follow that. So it's almost like a songwriting lesson. So that is the reason that I am saying that that is the best song ever written. Beautiful lyrics, beautiful message, beautiful melody. It's been covered by millions of people, and it's also a songwriting tutorial on how to write a beautiful song. So, best song ever written? Hallelujah, Leonard Cohen. Next, how do I keep track of my collection? Well, I don't really have too big of a collection back here. It's only about 282 records. As I said in past videos, I have about 3,000 CDs, and I have about, 50, 60 cassettes. But I only keep track of the vinyl, and like everybody else, I use Discogs. I love Discogs. The CDs I have not logged into Discogs yet, and I probably should, because sometimes I'm out at record stores and I pick up a CD and I'm like, crap, do I have this already? And I can't remember. So that's why I should probably just bite the bullet and put the CDs into Discogs as well. I just haven't done that yet. I guess I've been lazy. But all the records I have, those are in Discogs. So that's how I keep track. And maybe one of these days I'll actually get in there and put the CDs in as well. Now, a record that I will never sell. I've talked about this band before, and I've talked about this album before. This is a band called Slovenly. They were on the SST label. This is their first album. Actually, not their first album. This is an album called Thinking of Empire. This was their first album on SST. It's just there's nobody else that sounds like nobody sounds like SST. Nobody sounds like Slovenly. This album came out in 1986. And I've done a whole video on Slovenly, but why would I not get rid of this album? I really feel like this is their best album. I love listening to it. It's not available on CD. I have it on cassette as well. So really, if I want to listen to it, I have to go on YouTube or my vinyl or my cassette. So that's one of the reasons why I'm not getting rid of this. The other reason is because I totally love this album. I've talked about Slovenly. Slovenly has some punk influences, some alternative influences, a little REM in there, some jangly guitars, some monotone deadpan vocals, poetic lyrics. They're kind of hard to describe, and I've said before, the first song on this album is called Movement, and they actually did a video for it. So if you want to hear what Slovenly sounds like, that's probably the best way to hear them. Look up the song Movement on YouTube, and there's a video for it, and it'll kind of show you how awesome these guys are. They flew under the radar. I didn't really even know about them until this past year. So definitely check them out. I definitely would not get rid of this album. All right, question 5. Favorite music documentary. This was pretty easy. Iron Maiden, The Early Years. This is such a cool documentary. It goes into how Iron Maiden started. It's got a lot of early club footage, interviews. There's a 90-minute video on here, a documentary called The Early Years. There's a 1981 Rare TV documentary on the band on this. They're live at the Ruskin, home movie footage of that. 1981 Live at the Rainbows on here. 1982 Beast over Hammersmith. And there's also another 1983 concert from their World Peace Tour. So very cool stuff, chronicling the band when they were first starting, into the first album, Iron Maiden, into Killers, and I believe into Number of the Beast as well. So very, very cool stuff. And, double disc, double DVD. I think you can still get this. There's also a volume 2, which I have as well. And I believe a volume 3 too that I have. But this was the first one. Very, very cool documentary. Now, number 6, a favorite record that I received as a gift. Well, I don't really get any gifts. I don't really get any records as gifts. I wish I did. But I remembered one time I did order records. And sometimes how they put records next to the record you bought to protect it? And usually it's a crappy record that nobody wants, but they put it in the package so it protects the record that you actually did buy. Well, somebody did that for me. And it was almost like the bonus fry at the bottom of the bag at McDonald's. You're like, ooh, there's a fry left. Well, when I opened the package, I didn't order this album, but this album was put in to protect the album that I did buy. John Lennon and the Plastic Ono Band, Mind Games. And I'm like, ooh, John Lennon, that's kind of cool. And I'm like, I bet you it's in probably crappy condition because they use it as like a package filler. But then I looked at the vinyl. I was like, wow, it's in great condition. And the cover was in great condition. And I'm like, you know what? I don't know too much about this album. I see Yoko in the back here. I'm like, oh crap, is Yoko going to be singing on this album too? I'm not a big fan of Yoko. I've tried to give her a chance, but I just can't get into her. But surprisingly, I put this album on and I'm like, holy crap, this album is actually really good. There's no Yoko on there. And it's an awesome album. Came out in 1973. I didn't know anything about it, but it's definitely an album that I received as a gift in the mail, and I was happy about it. So very cool album. So thank you to the person who used this as packaging filler, because it ended up being a cool gift for me. Now, question number 7, my listening ritual. Okay, well, any record that I get, I always clean it on my Nitty Gritty record cleaner. I've done a video on that before. After it gets clean, I put it in a brand new outer sleeve. Even if it came with an outer sleeve, I usually take that one off and I put one of my brand new ones on there. I don't take any chances. Then I put the clean record into a MoFi inner sleeve, the anti-static inner sleeve. And then, before I would play the record on my turntable, I usually use my anti-static brush to get any other little debris off the record. Yes, there's a lot of pre-stuff that you have to do here. And then I put the record on and I enjoy it. I've got a cassette deck in the back. I've got a CD player in the back as well, my turntable. Usually when I'm listening, I'm on the couch. There's nothing else really usually going on but the music. I take my music very seriously. A lot of times I'll be looking at the actual album cover. I might be reading whatever the inner sleeve is. Sometimes I might be on my phone researching the artist as I'm listening to it and saying, oh, what else did this artist create? And what's the story behind this album? When was it recorded? And who was in the recording session? And, what other bands might have influenced this band? And usually that leads me to other albums that I would like to buy. So sometimes I'm doing musical research as I'm listening to music, but it's usually related with music. I usually have some sort of beverage in my hand, usually coffee. And it's just a really multi-sensory experience. And it always has been for me with music. It's more than just the music for me. It's really the whole experience of the time, looking at the album, putting the album on, reading the liner notes, listening to the music, the smell of the old record. It's just multi-sensory, so cool. There's nothing like it. And it's hard to explain to somebody who doesn't get music if it's just background for them. But that's why I love the VC, because you guys out there and gals share my passion and my obsession. So that's why it's just been great doing these videos and watching other people's videos and just hearing stories about similar feelings that I have towards music. So that is my listening ritual. Well, listen, I want to congratulate Dylan again at Noble Records for his 7,000 plus subs. He's way past that now. If you have not checked him out yet, please check him out. Very cool guy. Looking forward to watching more videos of his, and hopefully I got this video in just on time, February 16th. We'll see. Crossing the fingers. Looks like he's got some cool gifts to hand out too. So regardless though, it was fun making the video anyway. So listen, VC and anybody out there, enjoy the rest of your Sunday, enjoy President's Day weekend, and listen to music.